Hey folks, this is Matt Rainwater, and today we're going to be reading episode 72 of Trailer Park Warlock. In case y'all are new to this, which y'all might be, right? And in case you haven't heard about the webtoon, Trailer Park Warlock is a webtoon that I create. I write, draw, color, do basically everything. I work with an editor. So it's fun. I really like that. I really like making the story. It's a fun story to make, and people seem to enjoy reading it. So, anyway, today we're going to be reading episode 72, like I was saying earlier, and we're going to start here. We are now full on within the revolution that Lenny McKinney has begun. Let's see how horrible this gets, right? So we start with the power spire. Wonk! Wonk, 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 wonk! So they're so dark. They're about to guillotine the king. And you'll notice in the crowd there's a chicken here. Goodness, I believe I'm finally starting to come down from this trip. And my, how everything aches. My God, it's cold out here. Welcome to the party, jackass. Wonk wonk. Wonk wonk wonk. Wonk 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 wonk. I don't know if you can really see it, but if you look very closely on their manifesto, yeah, it's all wonks. It's wonks all the way down. Poor king. One second, folks. I'm having technical difficulties. All right, here we go. Let's not spend a second further in this frigid calamity and head back to the Union. What do you say, class? Are you saying you know how to get back? I haven't a clue, but we can improvise something, surely. Wonk? Wonk. Wonk. Let's make haste while the pawns are distracted with the ecstasy of revolt. The bishop's quarters should be wide open at this time. Trailer Park Warlock. Some wonderful souvenirs. In the old regime, the one yesterday, bishops had jurisdiction over the magical rights and equipment of the en passant. Now, with this new Pongwin regime I just finagled, who's to say? So, what exactly happened to the bishops? Are they pawns now too? Oh, not a chance. The bishops were shoved under the ice banks with the knights. And as for the king and queen, well, do I even need to go there? So Jake's getting the sense that somebody's watching him. So this is where they hide the goods then. Presumably so. We ought to find ourselves a wand or even just a talisman that could help us with the sojourn back. Jake is suspicious. Now, class, I've never used this manner of wand before. I presume it to be Hyperlantian, just as the power spires we saw outside. Generally, they work on the same principle with one key exception. Share power. I like this design for the wands. I kind of never use that design ever again. If the historical record stands correct, these wands channeled their energy from the collective power spires in the Hyperlantian Empire. We're talking about the power differential between a pistol and an atom bomb here. So please, respect the equipment. Alright. Now, in addition, these wands aren't charged with the flight of Delambra. A simple enough problem to solve. We just scrawl the sigil like so. As many 19th century alchemists practiced, so too do I carry a piece of chalk on me for just such an emergency. Finally, let's get into our positions. Intention circle, stand within the sigil. Wand bearers on the outside like last time. I doubt it bears repeating, but our destination is Mansor's Union 2311. I'm good. Ditto. Ready when y'all are. What in the hell? Foom. Hold on. I'm trying to scroll better. Foom. It's just, I try and make sure there are a lot of scenes where penguins waddle in this story, and this is one of them. I get much better at drawing waddling. I had a difficult, I definitely struggled with it in this panel. I think also what is funny to me is the intense stare of Maurice as he waddles in his way in. Astonishing. Wasn't this novel? Y'all seen this too? Spirits? So there's some psychedelic stuff while they're teleporting. And then this is very small, and I don't know how it reads in the webtoon. I'll zoom in real quick. It's also very abstract the idea I'm trying to get across here, but they're basically teleporting into all these different locales. And so it's Giza, Egypt, Machu Picchu, Peru, Bermuda Triangle, Göbekli Tepe, Turkey, Stonehenge, Salisbury, UK, Eye of the Sahara, Mauritania. All ancient sites of power within this universe. Within this story. Cacao. Oh, they land at the Frosty King. Oh. Yeah, I really like this design for these Hyperlantian wands. I'm kind of sad that I ditched them later on in the story. Close enough, I suppose. Welcome to Pueblo, Colorado, everyone. Sweet treats are on me. I don't care how old I am right now. I'm getting that damn ball pit. Sounds like a great idea. Job well done, class. Certifications for everybody. Lenny, I can't shake this feeling. What's that, Jake? Did you take us to Antarctica on purpose? I assure you, Jake, the chaos of industrial wand training doesn't need my interference to go awry. The last class I taught went straight into the Sahara instead of the Frosty King. Considerably shorter and less messy trip though it was. And so we see Aris. Gamer Grove. Yes, we're open. Tarot sold here. Pokemon. And look at it this way, my friend. Haven't we brought back some wonderful souvenirs? At this point, I'm thinking about just going back to college to get a business degree. You know what? Maybe I'll join you. Yeah, can I get 3 Kingly double combos and a cheesecake sundae surprise? Would you like any of those upgraded to Royale? All of them. So what are you saying? Antarctica was an unconscious impulse within the whole class? I have been seeing a pattern as of late. Leslie connects, but it's looking like a foul ball on this one. Jake feeling suspicious. Ding ding. So, we will see what happens next episode. To be continued. Did I start? Yeah, I was like, trying to remember if I started the tarot. Of course I did. I started the tarot. Your tarot of the week is the Seven of Swords. One that this is a lot of fun to draw. And worked out really well conceptually with the Seven of Swords and, in the tarot. Which usually is representative of... trying to find the right words here. Representative of alternative tactics, sneakiness, deception, lying, things like that. It has positive and negative contexts, but a lot of the time people will interpret it in a negative context, usually to mean deception, lying, cheating, stealing, stuff like that. Anyway. So, some thoughts about this episode. Like I kept saying throughout the episode, I really as soon as I saw those Hyperlantian wands, I was like, gosh. Okay, the first thing I thought is, and we'll find this out later on, um, did I keep this design in the later episode when Jake uses it? And the second thought I had is, why didn't I keep this design for Arise's wand? As we'll see later on, because Arise has a wand in his actual form. And his phantom form? I don't know. It gets complicated trying to explain Arise. Um, anyway, I just like that. I don't know. It just has a very interesting look, and like I said, I'm kind of bummed I didn't keep it. But anyway, I think this is another one of those episodes where I get to see how much I have changed as an artist, because something that I am noticing, I've learned to draw hands a lot better than I was in this episode or in previous episodes. In Jake's hair changes a lot. I think part of it is during this season in particular, I was really trying to abstract all of the character silhouettes. I was trying to simplify everything down so it'd be faster to draw, because there's a pretty big cast in these 3 episodes that we just read through, and I didn't really spend that much time designing these other characters. Like, I thought about them, but they don't have their own particular, their own specific character sheet. I just kind of worked it out on the page, so to speak. Whereas like Arise, I kind of worked out in the sketchbook. But yeah, I think I'm glad that I'm getting into a point as an artist where I'm able to, what's the word? I'm able to just like work through things a lot faster. And I think I was trying too hard to capture like every single little thing in these episodes, because there's a lot going on, right? You have all the penguins, you have the whole like setting of their kingdom or empire or whatever. There's like what, six characters at least that are principal characters or need to be seen in some context or another. The fact that I had like Jake with an entire class of people, granted a small class, but like the fact that it was a class of people meant that at some point throughout the episode I needed to include them in the story, right? To reinforce, and not just have it be like, oh, what happened to all of his classmates? Are they just gone? And I'm glad I did it like that. It makes the story very grounded, and it makes the whole situation grounded. But it's a lot. I know, thinking back about what it was like to draw this episode, it was a lot to do. And I can also tell, like, the way that the line art looks, the way that I drew it was very. I was using a pen that had almost no line weight, and I'm not into it. I switched over to a pen with line weight later on. I don't think I did. Maybe I did in this season. We'll see. But Clip Studio has I got a pen. What do you call it? Like a nib package for Clip Studio, and I mean I don't use most of the pens because I just find one that works, right? And stick to that. And I had a while where I was just switching between different styles. And there was a time where I think it's season 4 where what I actually did is I would just do tight pencils, and then I would I don't even know how to properly explain the process. I would take them from Clip Studio, put them over into Photoshop, and then do what's called threshold, which just reduces everything to strictly black and white. Because in Clip Studio, if you're using the pencil, it's going to have gradation a value in the line. So you'll have the black, but on the edge of the line, there will be all of like these dark grays to lighter grays, because it's rasterized basically. The issue with that, and the reason why I have to reduce it to a strict black and white line, is when you go into coloring, Eclipse 2 doesn't read those variations of gray very well. So if you're using like the fill bucket tool and you want to get underneath that line art so that you make sure everything is properly colored and there isn't some weirdness when you go into coloring, you have to make sure that the line art is very easy to read for the paint bucket. And there are things that you can do to adjust it, but the easiest and best way that I can think of is reduce the line to just simple black and white. The line art to simple black and white. So just a little detail about my work process. I do like this scene a lot. This is such a vulnerable picture of Jake. Like, you don't see him like this too often in the story. And it has kind of a nice little dramatic effect as he's feeling suspicious of somebody looking upon him. Poor Jake. He goes through kind of hell in these episodes, and it gets better for him, but this is clearly not a good time for him. And then I think the last thing I want to talk about is this scene. I'm not even sure what I was exactly going for in this scene. Basically, I'm just trying to express that this psychedelic concept that the power of these wands is so great that they kind of enter into some other dimension, basically, that's inhabited with these wild Dadaistic beings. Like they're all kind of like Picasso creatures, where some of them are hyperdimensional objects or whatever. You can kind of see them you're seeing them from multiple perspectives. One of the big reference points I was using it when I was trying to come up with this idea was Picasso obviously, but like there's also can't remember if it's Cubist or Dadaist, but Nude. It's called Nude Descending a Staircase, and I think it's by Marcel Duchamp. But it was basically like one of those the same kind of concept. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff in these scenes that I don't even know. I don't really know as a reader if people even paid that much attention to it or glanced over it. Just looking back at it, I'm kind of surprised I made this choice because it's kind of artsy. Anyway. So that's all I got for today's episode. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you're enjoying all this stuff, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment too if you have any questions in regards to this series or my work process. I'd be happy to talk about it in future episodes of Talk and Draw, which is an additional video series I do where I talk while I draw. And basically the idea is just another way to connect with y'all, and give y'all an idea of like what it looks like when I'm working. And you get to see little glimpses of future episodes of Trailer Park Warlock as I'm working on them. Anyway, until next time, y'all have a good one, and we will talk again soon. All right? Have a good one. Bye.